Live now, right on time. There we go. Yeah, I'm in the field again. Well, I'm in the orchard again. I'm sitting on my quad. I gotta adjust this a little bit. That might be better, hopefully. And yeah, unfortunately, I couldn't bring my motorhome down here and sit inside and have the girls with me because my motorhome's getting a bit of minor work done on it, and it's got to be parked for the rest of the day, for part of the day anyway. At least while I'm doing the live anyway. So yeah, so we don't have the girls with us today. We don't have the motorhome. It's getting some stuff done. So that's why we are sitting on the quad again out in the orchard, and I have a hard time seeing up there and see what's going on. There's at least one or two people watching. Nobody's commenting yet. So I'll just sit here and wait and get things organized and wait till someone starts talking to me. Oh, yeah. There was a song I was going to do and I forgot about it. Yeah, Moon River. Moon River, wider than a mile. I'm crossing you in style someday. There, so yeah. Oh, we got some hearts going there. Someone's giving me hearts. So I know someone's there. Well, I can see someone's there. A couple of people there, but uh, nobody's commenting and just giving me lots of hearts. Oh, there we go. I believe that's Susie. No, that's Beth. See, I can't see that far away. I got to come back up here. Welcome, Beth. How are you doing today? That must have been you giving me the hearts there. Yeah, so I hope you caught that we don't have the girls with us because we don't have the motorhome here. It's sitting up there atop and getting some touch-up work done on it. So yeah, maybe next week. Yeah. Anyway, just to babble on and say stuff so I can entertain you. Yeah, yesterday I was down by the river there and I went tried fishing there and didn't catch anything. I got a lot of bites and they're just little tiny ones there. Yes, I saw that. You giving me the hearts before before it let you type. I thought you were saying hype, but type the comments. Yeah, awesome. But yeah, I was down by the river there, and there's just little tiny fish, and they're biting, but didn't hook anything at all. And during this was yesterday afternoon, and during the I don't know, I spent about maybe close to an hour just trying to catch some fish. A big one, kind of good sized one anyway, jumped just upstream from me, and I kept trying to throw my line up that way, try and catch him, but didn't. But I'm just coming to the point of my story here. Oh, I for some reason they're not getting any worms at the gas station. The guy that supplies the worms has been out for a couple of months now, and they're still waiting for him to bring worms. But what I did was I get some meat like steak and liver and stuff, and I chop it up for the girls for dinner. And I had some leftovers there, so I just put steak and liver on the hook, and they seemed to like it. They were biting it constantly, all the little guys. But like I say, they're only little ones like that, and the hook was probably way too big for them. So, and they're a little too small to keep and eat anyway. You want them to grow a little bigger anyway. So yeah, that was what I was using, just meat. I got some frozen kidney in there. I was thinking of trying that too. Um, Chop that up and throw it on there too, but I never got around to that. I had plenty of steak and liver in the bowl, so yeah. I've also got some power bait too, which I was going to try, but I didn't. It's like you got to climb down this rocky hill to get to the river, so I tried casting off the top of the hill, and I knew I was probably going to have problems, which it casted out fine, and I was getting bites. But when I tried to reel it in coming up the hill, the hook snagged on some weeds, so I had to climb down to unhook it. So I decided I'd just go down there and just go down right by the river and catch. But yeah, but like I say, I got some power bait, and next time I'll take that down with me as well, just to see if that helps at all, and see if maybe it attracts bigger fish. I don't know, but yeah, yeah, it's a terrible time for the bait stores to run out of worms, isn't it, Beth? Yes, yes. Oh, that was definitely a legitimate workout, walking up and down the hill, and then I was parked down by the cabin right beside the river, and the owner was going by with his friend driving around, and he honked at me, and I heard this honking, and I was like, "That sounds like someone honking up by my motorhome there." And so finally, I decided to go up the hill and climb up all those rocks and get up there. And when I got up there and walked around the motorhome, I saw the pickup truck just coming around the corner over this way and disappeared. Hello, Tess. How you doing? Happy Sunday to you as well. Yes. And so he came over here, and then a while later, I just gave up on the fishing because I wasn't actually catching anything, and I had to go and back and see the girls and feed them dinner and make dinner and stuff like that. So so I was back up there and I was putting my fishing rod away, and then someone came around and honked again, and it was the same pickup truck and the owner and friend in there. And he said, "How's it going?" And I said, "Oh, I'm just trying to catch some fish down there, but I'm not having any luck." Yeah, so that was kind of cool. Yeah. So anyway, I'm coming kind of getting to a story here. So yesterday afternoon, I got to actually put this down so I can use my hands and show hand movements. There we go. So I went to, the first time I went over to the spot to climb down to go fishing. There's a bunch of rocks along the top, and on one of the rocks, it was about this big, I saw a little baby rattlesnake, and it was only about this long, a little tiny thing. It looked like a big worm, big black worm, and I was like, "Oh, cool, rattlesnake, pretty small." But he took off and that and disappeared. And then so that was yesterday afternoon, and then this morning when I went to jump on my quad to come down here and do the live show, I there was another rattlesnake right beside my motor, right beside my quad, and it was about this long. It wasn't a big one, but it was probably big enough to do some damage in that. And anyway, he saw me and he just took off in that. He actually went under the quad there up front, and then when I started up and rolled backwards, and he took off into the brush kind of thing. So yeah, a couple of rattlesnakes already. So that kind of worries me, especially out with the dogs. But when I take the dogs out, I walk through the orchard through the grassy areas, and the rattlesnakes don't tend to go in the grassy areas very much at all. It's pretty rare actually, and so I just take them up through the grassy areas of the orchard where the apples and all the fruits growing and everything like that. And I stay away from, like with the dogs, I stay away from the rocky areas because they tend to hang out in the rocky regions and in, the dry kind of pine cones and what do you call that stuff? There's a name for it, but I can't think of it. But the scruff, I guess it's called the scruff, all the dry stuff on the ground and near the rocks and everything like that. So good, good. You're all talking amongst yourself. That's awesome. That's what we're here for. And yeah, so I just stay away from those areas with my dogs, and that's the only thing I don't like about this out in this area here is it's got rattlesnakes, and they're not very plentiful. They've been dwindling, and they're, I guess, a protected species, um, because the numbers are so low in that. So, like, you're not allowed to kill them or anything like that. If they catch you killing them, they'll, I guess, I don't know, you get a huge fine or something like that. But anyway, that's the only thing that worries me out here is the rattlesnakes, and mostly just for my dogs. I mean, I'll see them as I'm going along, and generally, and avoid them and stuff. Hey, Susie, glad you can make it, Susie. Hello there. Oh, but yeah, so yeah, I worry constantly whenever my dogs are outside, anywhere in this whole valley, anywhere that because they, especially baby stays a little closer and she's a little slower because I guess she's older. But Angel runs around and bounces all over and searches things out, and she sees stuff, and she's fascinated by bugs. And as soon as she sees a bug, she's got to go check it out. And she looks into the tall grass and stuff like that, like she hears or sees something in there, like a mouse or something like that. But um, yeah, I kind of worry that Angel's the one that's going to run across a rattlesnake and be curious, and then it'll be too late then. But anyway, I try not to think of it that much. But yeah, so I knew the rattlesnakes were out. The people were telling me about it, and got to watch out for them. And being down here more like near the river where all the rocks and everything are, it's places they like to hang out. The really dry places as well. And then up on the other end, over by the highway there and across the highway, it's kind of where they like to hang out. And oh yeah, and the little one I saw yesterday when I went to go fishing, the little tiny one, barely even, I'd say it wasn't quite 6 inches long anyway. It was sitting on top of a rock, and obviously they the sun hits the rocks in the daytime and warms them up, and then when the sun goes down, like it was just over there and it was all shady there, that's when the rocks and asphalt and pavement all give off their heat, is when the sun's gone down. And so they like to get on the rocks and warm themselves up because they can't handle cold very well. So that's why they hibernate all winter. That's right, Beth. Sunbathing little rascal. Yeah. But yeah, so I was kind of not happy to see them, both of them, the one yesterday and today. So, because it just means they're out there and they're nearby, and I got to watch out and stuff. So, yeah, most snakes can swim there, Susie. Yeah, lots and lots of snakes can swim. Um, I'm not sure if they all do, but yeah, the rattlesnakes will swim, and many others I've seen. I'm trying to think of I can't remember many of the names. I've seen garter snakes, which are harmless because they don't bite and they're not poisonous. I've seen them swimming and stuff like that. I can't think of the other ones. There's a something copper or something or other. Seen that one swimming and stuff, and even the larger ones like anacondas, nose, they all swim as well. So yeah, but yeah, so that just brings you up to speed for yesterday and today kind of thing. Um, got some interesting things going on, but we got to get to the good part of the show here. I should try and move that thing closer so I don't have to stretch so far. Well, I'd like to move it closer, but I can't put it there. It won't sit very well there. So, and I think you can see me better here and get a little bit more of the background this way. But anyway, let's start off the show real proper. Whoops. Real proper. Wait a minute. That's the wrong one. Where'd the other one go? Oh, there it is. That's a different list of songs I keep crossing off and then adding to them. Yeah. Anyway, the Lord's Prayer. Our Father who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who have trespasses against us. Lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, the power, and the glory forever and ever. Amen. Now, it's really short, and you'd think I'd have that memorized, which I kind of do. But if it's not in front of me and I forget the words, I forget the next line or something and start screwing it up, that'll bother me and I'll have to start all over again. And I don't like to, I like to do the whole thing right through and do it properly. So I get the whole message across without interruption. Amen. Yes, that's right. Amen, amen, amen. Yes, Beth. Let that be true, dear Lord. Yes, exactly. Let that be true always. I always talk to the Lord every single day. My hero, Jesus. I call him Isho. A lot of people call him Yeshua, that's or Yeshua from the Hebrew. Um, Most people either call him Jesus or they call him Yeshua. And I was watching this one guy, Victor Alexander. He's online there somewhere. You can probably find his videos if you search him. I don't think he has a lot out there, but he lives in the same city, town, or whatever that both Abraham and Jesus came out of. Both their families came out of Nineveh, and and in that area they speak Aramaic, and as most people know, um, anyone that actually studies enough knows that Jesus' favorite language was Aramaic. His whole family spoke Aramaic as their first language, and so did Abraham, and many of the other Bible uh, prophets and people and stuff like that. A lot of them spoke Aramaic, and I was, like I said, listening to Victor's videos, and he was explaining a lot of stuff. And so in Aramaic, his name would have been Isho, or Ishoa, similar to Yeshua or Ishoa. So it's very similar, Ishoa. Um, and he said that saying things like, if he was walking down the street or whatever, and if you didn't call him Isho or Yeshua, like if you called him Jesus in that day and time, like he wouldn't even recognize it. He would just keep walking. He might hear you, but he'd keep on walking. But anyway, that's because Jesus is a more Roman Greco kind of translation of his name that came. I think it came after his death or possibly before his death. I don't know, because the Romans were around, obviously, but they would have translated it their own way. And there's so many, a lot of people like the Spanish and I think the Portuguese and Latin America. They all call him. Oh my! I just lost my train of thought. Uh, Jesus. So he's got a lot of names very similar to that around the world. But I I call him Isho a lot because I don't know. It just seems like his mother would have called him Isho. His family would have called him Isho, and he loved his mother very much, obviously. And I just think it's would be nice to refer to him by the name that um, he knew very well when he was a very young lad, and growing up as into his adulthood. Um, it would be very near and dear to him, I guess. And I don't know if it's the right thing to do or the wrong thing to do, or somewhere in between. I don't know, but I just most of the time I like to when I'm just talking to him when I'm in my private place. I just like to call him Isho because I don't know. I think, like I say, his mother would call him that, and his family and stuff. And I'm hoping that it's a sign of respect that I'm trying to call him by the name that he grew up with. And that, anyway, I can go on and on about that. I don't know if it's all very true or not, but that's what I understood about the name he would have through people that speak Aramaic. And Aramaic hasn't changed since Hebrew has changed a couple of times, I believe, since ancient times, but Aramaic is still the same today as it was way back then. But anyway, so no comments. I didn't miss anything so far. But anyway, that's kind of what I like to do. And anyway, I talk to Jesus all the time, pretty much every day, and I thank him for all the wonderful blessings and all the good things he does in and around my life. And I just remain through that. I try to remain positive about everything all my life nowadays. It wasn't so much when I was younger. Well, it took me like at least 60 years to get on the track I'm on, and it's only been 11 years since I started that bit of a journey. I mean, through my life, I was learning as I go, but it didn't all kick in until at least I was around 60 or something, where I really tried to put all this stuff into practice. especially about like I'm not sure if Cheryl's here. Like sometimes she's hanging out in the background and she's here right from the beginning and just doesn't comment for a while. But um, talking about things like trying not to stress about anything. I'm getting better and better at all the time it seems, and that's what I do when I talk to Jesus and stuff. Is I, I try to keep myself positive and not stress about anything, and have positive comments and talk to him as if like it's like when I pray that it's already happened, not that I'm asking for anything like for future, but I pray as if it's already done and happened and it's here now in front of me. Like let's say I want some object or something like that, um, and I know eventually I'll get to the store or whatever it takes to get that object. Like let's say a quad I've wanted, and a lot of people call it manifesting, but yeah, if you don't pray as if you're asking for something. I've learned that fairly recently too. You pray as if you already have it, and that's how you pray, and that's apparently how Jesus prayed and how he taught everyone else to pray. But anyway, I'm starting to babble on and stuff, but I talk to Jesus every day and thank him for all the wonderful things he brings in my life. Uh, oh, Beth, he hears every prayer. Another thing I keep in mind too is when I'm talking to him, I say, um, say something, hope you hear it, Lord, or whatever. It's like, then I remember the text saying, he knows our minds and our thoughts even before we know what they are. So he knows everything about us, like before we even think or speak. So I always keep that in mind too. But yeah, I'm positive that's true, that he hears us all the time. He hears everything. And he sees all the bad things people do, and sees and hears all the bad things people do, and he sees and hears all the good things people do, and he knows everyone's heart inside and out. So yeah, that's the way it is, Beth. Yeah, exactly. You'll take on the idea of confidence. It's already in the works, or it's more so to the point. It's already here, and yeah, it doesn't matter what it is and whether it's here or not. I'm trying to think of a good example, but it's hard to. And let's say just for an off, something that's kind of off. Let's say you want to win $1 million lottery, and you don't sit there and beg and ask and say, "Can I please win a lottery and $1 million lottery and all that?" What you do is you say, "Thank you, Lord, for bringing me that $1 million lottery and bringing it in my hand, like it's already here. It's in your hands. It's in your bank account already." Um, that's the kind of example I'm giving. It's a way, kind of a way out there example, but whatever you want, you just keep praying over and over again. It's basically similar to manifestation, the concept of manifestation. You just speak about everything as if you already got it, and then one day, bang, it shows up in your life. But I hope that's a good example for you. Um, like I never really prayed hard for a quad, but I kept thinking about it and wanting one and mentioning it once in a while and that. And but I didn't. Oh, hello, Lori. Glad you could make it. So Pete there, Highway 97. Pete, he reminded you to show up to the live today. Awesome. Glad you're here, Lori. We missed you last time. Is it already that long? Almost a half an hour. You're right, Tess. Wow. I thought it was like 10 minutes. But yeah, we're close to a half an hour. And there's only three of us, three people here. I think there's more than that. No, there's on my end, there's seven, eight now, eight people. But I think a lot of people sit there and listen and they don't necessarily comment either through the whole live or sometimes just when they feel like it or when there's something to say or something like that. But like I know Cheryl sometimes just watches for quite a while before she mentions anything, and George has done that, and others have done that too. Yeah, but yeah. Catherine, you made it. Glad you could get here. Glad you could get here. And happy Sunday to you. And yes, happy Sunday to everybody. But a lot of times now we're at 9 on my end anyway. There might be more. I don't know. You can't always necessarily trust these, what do you call them? Wow, I hate it when I can't think of the words. That's right, Lori. You're so glad to be back with everybody today, and a huge hello to everyone today. Yeah, we kind of missed you the last couple of shows, so it's nice that you made it. I know you're really busy. And speaking of which, now that you're here, I saw your video the other day. Whenever your videos pass my feed, I always hit the like button. I don't necessarily comment because I don't necessarily have anything specific or important to say. Um, but I always hit the like button, and sometimes on many of them, especially your shorts, I'm the first one to hit the like because it comes through real quickly, and then I hit the like. So just so you know that. But anyway, I watched your video the other day about you were saying you're really frustrated and you're kind of almost crying in that and saying how YouTube is really hard and all that, and all the work that goes into it. You got to film all the clips, then you got to put the clips together in some kind of app or something, and then you got to add transitions, and then you got to, you know, add all the stuff, and it sometimes takes hours and hours to do a video. And you're absolutely right. I really um, I could. Oh wow, I don't know what it is. It must be age. My brain just doesn't want to work. And yeah, I can really relate to that. You know, it does. It's even a short one. Let's say a 5-10 minute video on a regular standard video, not the shorts version. Even the short ones can take quite a while, and some of it's just the uploading to YouTube. Sometimes it can take a while just to upload. But yeah, it's a lot of work goes into it, and they take sometimes, like you say, hours and that, and it can be very frustrating and hard to do. It's a lot of kind of hard work in a way. It's mostly mental work, but what they said used to say in the past is like doing a lot of mental work was more stressful and harder on your body than physical work. And yeah, I can sort of relate to that. But anyway, oh, okay. You broke in that video. You broke your microphone and you were mad. Yeah, yeah, that happens too. So yeah, and that's why a lot of people, a lot of YouTubers, especially they've been around a lot, and got a lot of subscribers. They make their videos like sometimes they stack them up for 1 week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, and sometimes a month ahead, so that they're way ahead. So they put all that time into making it because they got the time, and then they upload it to YouTube, and then they set a date for it to come out, like let's say 3 or 4 weeks from then, and that's why they do it, because it takes a lot of the edge off trying to do all the work and go through all the frustration to try and get them up, like that day or something. I'm still doing them um, day by day mostly right now, so that's why I do a lot of shorts. Morning.
I mean,
And so, yeah. Um, Otherwise, that's right, Beth. It requires much patience. It certainly does. And Lori would be one to really know about that too, is how much work and it takes and how much patience you have to have. And that was a good video anyway to show people out there. It's not just an easy task when you're, people that don't do their own YouTube stuff. They're just subscribers and viewers and that. Yeah, it takes a lot. Sometimes it's better to just let it happen rather than holding it back. That's right there, Lori. It's natural, and robots don't have feelings. That's right, Lori. Absolutely right. But yeah, I'm missing a couple of comments here. Yeah, and you said that there's lots more folks who don't have the patience, unfortunately. Yeah, that is true. That is true. Anyway, yes, MIA, missing in action tests. Carl, John, Billy T, Mark, Pete, George, Glenn, Laura, Cheryl, uh, Miss McGraw, Margaret Amani, Laura. You got Laura? Yeah, Laura's there. Um, oh, you got George, Alex. Alex is another one. Yeah, it's hard to think of all the names of everyone because there's quite a few of them. Yeah, you got Pete. Yeah, yeah, a lot of MIA today. Yeah, but that happens every time, I believe. Tess, I'm not sure what you mean. So purple. Okay, so purple. I know that's kind of an expression, but I'm not 100% sure of what it means. I believe I've always thought of the term purple as being a good thing, like the movie The Color Purple. I don't know. I'm not sure what that meant exactly. I don't really remember, but I always think of purple being a great, wonderful thing and a blessing or whatever because that's my favorite color of all time. Especially deep purple, like royal purple. That is absolutely my favorite color of all. Yeah, I haven't really looked into that deeply, Lori. I'm not really concerned about it. I mean, YouTube is going to do their stuff, and some of it's crazy. I just went through it. I actually accepted all the new stuff. I went through the big list of stuff and accepted everything. I don't even know what half the stuff is, but I think it's getting ridiculous. Ever since YouTube's fired everybody except maybe there's one person working there, and everything else is done by robotics, AI, and stuff like that. And AI is basically the one running the show and making up the ideas and concepts and how things are going to run and work. And yeah, it sounds like they're just making it harder and harder. I can't believe it. 8,000 watch hours. Like that's double what it used to be. It used to be 4,000 watch hours and 1,000 subscribers. And I'm not sure what you mean, but 8,000 watch hours or 20 million, 20 million shots or shorts. I'm not sure exactly what, if you got that, if that was spell check or something going on there, but yeah, it's crazy. It seems like they're just making it harder and harder for people. But when I was going through the list of stuff while I was trying to accept everything, it made it sound like they were giving us more money. Like they'd say, on this thing, we're giving you 50%. On this one, we're giving you 64%. On this one, we're giving you 70%. And it just was, I don't even remember what it was. It was just a big, long list. I didn't feel like doing it, but it was sitting at the top every time I went to my channel. It's sitting at the top, reminding me by January something, January 1st or something, we have to accept and acknowledge everything. Otherwise, oh, there's two chickens over there now. The brown one's back with a friend of theirs. But anyway, yeah, that's. I think it's crazy. They're just making it harder for everyone, especially new people that want to get going. I'm glad I started when I did because it was much easier back then and before they actually made any real changes. For the first, I don't know, 3 or 4 years I was doing it, and everything was kind of normal, and they had a whole bunch of real people working there. And then eventually they just changed it all. So yeah, yeah. I hope all the MIA people are doing well and staying cool enough. That's right. Yeah, yeah. That's right. That's another thing that you were saying there, Lori. I'm already grandfathered in, and I believe you're grandfathered in, so you're already okay. But I'm not sure. I'm not sure. You haven't hit your 1,000 subscriber mark yet, I don't think. And I don't know about your thousands of viewing hours, but I'm not sure. But maybe you're not grandfathered in. I don't know, but I am. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, that's right, Susie. AI likes to change what you say, and that's annoying too because they got to watch what you're saying in any comments or whatever, and and try and make sure they got it right. And if they didn't, if they try and change it, you go back and change it back to what you want. So okay, Lori, the revenue isn't much more. Yeah, I'm sure they're going to screw with that, try and keep us from earning. And they're making, I don't know, I want to say billions of dollars, but they're making a lot of money. They have been right from the beginning of YouTube. making a lot of money on ads and everyone's and a portion of everything that you get, like your super chats and all that kind of stuff, super thanks, all those things, they take a portion of all that, which is, I've always thought it was criminal. But what do? You want to do a YouTube? Oh, okay. You're happy about it because it's getting rid of the noise. I'm not sure what you're meaning, Lori, but I get the sort of gist kind of thing. I'm just catching up on all the comments here. So, Beth, you say you heard that it helps creators with their watch hours if you click on one of the videos suggested at the end of the one you just watched. That could be true. I don't know, understand what's going on. I barely even understood the basic process of YouTube back when I first started and when it was normal back then, kind of. And then as they changed it and changed it, I just. So, Lori, you're understanding why they've changed it and you're interested in marketing. I don't understand any of it. I just keep making my videos and keep going and hope for the best. And I make very little money at all. I make more money by people who give me super chats, super thanks, and stuff like that. And oh, what the hell? Why does it keep doing this on me? Wow. Now I forgot what I was going to say. Um, yeah, I get more money that way than I do from the ad revenue and stuff like that. And like I might make $100 every few months, so it's like I might if I make 500 or 600 bucks in a year, um, that would probably be the maximum, I think, just off the top of my head, and it's very low. So I'm not doing this anymore to make money, really. I mean, that's the whole idea. That's why I started at the beginning, to get a second income to supplement my pension and stuff like that. And that's why everyone does YouTube, is to make the money, right? And that's why they want tons and tons of subscribers and like millions of subscribers and all that, because they're making money, and that's the whole thing. But I've if it happens for me, it happens for me, and I stopped really thinking about it too much. I definitely stopped stressing about it a long time ago. The only reason that keeps me going, I would have quit a long time ago, probably a couple of years ago, and every probably 6, 8 months, or maybe every 12 months, somewhere along that line, I I think, why am I bothering, kind of thing. And the only reason that actually keeps me going is it's not a huge group, but I don't want to say a small group, but it's not a huge group either. My group of very, very loyal subscribers that have been with me from the beginning, and even the newer ones that have come along and are very loyal. And I do that for them. Like people like Cheryl, like all of you, but I'm just bringing up Cheryl because you know she's she seems to absolutely look forward to my shows and videos and that all the time, and she says things like it helps her keep going and stuff, and keeps her positive and all that kind of stuff. And I'm just using her for as an example, but each and every one of you, all the loyal subscribers and viewers and that, right from the beginning and after, are the only reason I keep doing it, is because you all find a lot of enjoyment of watching my videos and watching my live shows and stuff like that, and waiting to see what's coming next. And that's why I've kept going all this time while making no money. So my frustration in that for the money part is all gone and everything. Um, it'll be what it'll be, and if I get something, I get something. And it's always nice when you receive something along the way, like every 3, 4, 5, 6 months or whatever. But yeah, the only thing that keeps me going is all you wonderful loyal viewers and subscribers out there. Should have said subscribers first, but anyway, that's the only thing that keeps me going, is you guys. And you know, I don't have millions and hundreds of thousands or millions of subscribers and viewers and that. but that's okay. I do it for the ones that really want to watch me and listen to what I have to say, and the interesting things I do and stuff like that. Like, well, boating, fishing, hiking. Um, and the next thing I'm going to be talking about is mushrooms here. That's my favorite thing, and I've been thinking about it a lot lately and stuff. But a lot of people love it when I go out hunting mushrooms and everything like that. So yeah. Anyway, still kind of. Oh, that's the thing, Susie. The phones are listening to every phone. It doesn't matter whether you do YouTube or do anything. Your phones are constant. They've been listening to us for years. They have. You got to go. I've watched videos where they say go in your phone and turn these things off because they're listening, they're watching, whatever. So if you haven't turned anything off and gone into your settings and that deep in there and turned a lot of different things off, they're not only listening to you, everything you say, they're tracking all your information, everything about you, your banking information, if you do it that on your phone, your personal information, who you talk to, who your friends are, who everything, and they're also not just listening and storing all your data. They're actually watching you with the camera. So I went in and I shut off a bunch of different things, and one of them I shut off the camera for them. So, um, so when I go to use my camera, it'll pop up a thing and it'll say allow access, right? And uh, and so I hit the thing only while I'm doing this right now, and then that's the only time. Otherwise, it's off. And you go into the permissions inside your settings, and you can turn off permissions for all sorts of different apps, like Google and all sorts of apps. Um, and because every single app out there has the ability to listen to you, watch you, and record all your data and information. So I that's another thing I stopped stressing and worrying about because I've gone in and done whatever I can to stop it. But they're going to do what they do anyway. But yeah, I noticed your phone will pick up what the other phone was saying, and it'll give you an answer. Another weird thing that I've noticed so many times over the last 2 years is that I'll have my phone there. It's turned off. I'm not using it. And I'll be talking to someone and they have their phone sitting beside them too. We'll have a conversation and we'll talk about something. And the next time I pick up my phone to go look at something, a notification will pop down about that. Like um, let's say we're talking about outboard motors or stuff like that, and I've never mentioned it on my chat, on the phone or anything like that. Even texting, I text back and forth with people, and after I'm texting, it notification will pop out on that thing, and it's something that sometimes it's something I've never even mentioned in years, and I just mention it, and that same day it pops up. So they're listening to you all the time, and it's very crazy and very weird. That's right, Beth. Very weird. Yeah, that's cool. We were talking about that last week, Tess. Seems like all the trolls have vanished. And I don't know whether it has anything to do with the new YouTube stuff, platform, whatever, or what, but yeah, we used to get a lot of trolls. And now we're not getting any, which is great because it saves us time from not having to, um, remove them from the channel and delete their comments and stuff like that. But yeah, that's right, Lori. YouTube is TV now. So you're going to go working on your homework, so it's harder than before. Playlist is very important for returning viewers. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, but I've actually been saying that ever since pretty much the beginning of YouTube, at least 5, 6 years ago, that YouTube is now the new television, the TV stuff, because I knew it was going to revert over, um, because that's what everyone's watching. They watch more YouTube, and it's getting more and more all the time now over the last number of years. More and more people that used to watch television are now watching YouTube because it's definitely more entertainment. You can pick and choose what you want to watch and the certain subjects you want to tap into, like whether it's fishing or this or that or the other thing or auto mechanics. Um, and you have more choice. Whereas TV, it just showed you what it wanted to show you, and you had no choice in that most of the time. But yeah, I've been saying that for years that YouTube is the new TV, and TV is going to die out. Actual television is going to die out, and it's only going to be like movies on certain apps and stuff like that. And yeah, but I don't know if I haven't watched actual TV in so long. Oh, this thing's falling down. Is it? I don't know. I'm gonna have to stand it. Yeah, it is. What is going on here? I gotta. Oh, my tape is falling again. I don't know why. You'd think the tape would stick very well. You pay enough for stuff like that. There we go. Yeah, it was just falling over it. Must be the heat on the glue of the tape or something. It just wants to fall down. Wow, okay, there we go. Back on. But yeah, YouTube is the new TV. Well, not just YouTube, but all the different platforms now. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Okay, Susie. Yeah. Gemini pops up on my phone all the time. Every time I try and open it and look, it's popped up and I got to tap to make sure it goes away. Oh, yeah. Even in the middle of the night, that's crazy. Things happen. Like you can be sitting there talking to yourself about things and something will pop up on your phone in the middle of the night when you're not even using it. It's insane. Yeah. They're tapped into it. It's almost like the book 1984, where the government is watching everything you do and the cameras everywhere and stuff like that. That's exactly what it is now. This is 1984 in real life now. And on top of it, in the book 1984, everyone would seem to be aware of it and they saw the cameras everywhere or whatever and that. But now in this day and age, we're not necessarily even aware of it. Like a lot of people still don't realize that whether their phone is on or off, it's still watching and recording everything you do. Absolutely everything. That's right, Lori. Editing videos for other YouTube channels, very interesting ways to market yourself as well as sell yourself, and others will shop at your site. Exactly, yeah. So there are some benefits going on there, but I don't know. I just find as time goes on, everything with YouTube or anything to do with cell phones at all and apps and all that is more and more corrupt all the time. And it's just going to get worse. Oh, Tess, you say this is an uplifting live chat. That's good. Information is good. Oh, I think you're talking about me, maybe, Lori. Very cool person. Anyway, and you love this awesome community. Yes, we all love this awesome community, and that is why I stick around and keep doing it. It's a lot of work and everything. It takes a lot of my time. Like it probably takes up as much as 50% of my time sometimes, and I'm not making any money doing it. It's like generally not many people would actually do that. Spend a lot of time doing something and not getting anything out of it at all, especially money. But yeah, like I say, it's all because of you guys, all my loyal, wonderful subscribers and viewers who keep showing up and keep watching my videos and all that, and really tell me how much they enjoy what I do. So it's you guys can all pat yourself on the back for that. Is that's why I haven't quit so far, and I don't see myself quitting anytime soon or in the near future or in the distant future either. I just keep doing it basically for you guys. And also, I get a lot of pleasure out of it because I'm communicating with people from around the world, or just communicating with people anyway. And, um, and that kind of makes me happy as well because um, I get a lot of joy in a lot of our conversations and stuff. Um, like take Carl for instance. He's always got a good joke. I mean, his health is poor, but he's always got a good joke, and he's always kind of helping to uplift people in general and stuff like that. So yeah, it makes me feel good just to do it, even though it's not what it was originally meant to be as a money making thing. Anyway, I don't want to talk too much about it, but oh, thanks, Beth. You can't tell me how much I am appreciated in capital letters. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Like you are just one of the many loyal subscribers out there that I'm talking about, and that's why you guys constantly tell me how much you like my shorts, my videos, my live shows, and every kind of everything I do, and all the entertaining things I do. So yeah, that's why. Hey Pete, you're. Oh, I thought you were going to say you're late. Welcome back, Pete. Glad you're here again. Okay, so yep, here you are. Sorry you're so broke. My channel is always free and I intend to always stay that way as I'm having fun. Exactly, that's exactly it. Channel, but if you need some money, it's okay. Yeah, it's okay if if your channel can make you money and it gets popular enough, get enough viewers, um, subscribers and viewers and all that kind of stuff. That's great, but in the end, for a lot of us, like me and Pete and that, and probably Lori as well, it's in the end, it can be more about um, connecting with communities out there, wonderful communities, and not so much about the money anymore. It's a way of um, finding new and different friends and stuff, especially from around the world. That's the great thing about the YouTube and that is that you can pick up people from every corner of the world and talk to people in Spain and in the Middle East and Australia, everywhere, like everywhere. And these are people you would never normally get to meet and have a conversation with. And that's wonderful. And I think it helps to bring another great perspective to each and every one of our lives. For sure. It definitely does with mine. I'm still catching up with the comments. Susie, you had a baby shower yesterday. All went well. 4 weeks old, I guess that's what you're saying. Yeah. And you're excited. Yes. Beth, shrooming. Yeah. Mushrooming. Picking mushrooms. There, they're Pete's here now. You can thank him personally there, Lori. Thanks, Pete, for reminding Lori to come to the show. Yeah, I bet the mushrooms are starting up north already there too. Yeah, um, and up to the through the Caribou area, right up through to Prince George and Smithers and all that area. I was a lot younger when I was up there, and I wasn't in. I was fascinated by mushrooms. Since I was young, but I never went out specifically to go looking and hunting for mushrooms back then because I was more into doing my youthful things, like in my late teenage years and my early 20s and stuff, mainly hanging out with people and partying and stuff like that, and that kind of stuff. And I didn't really get seriously involved into the mushroom picking aspect and going hunting for them until I guess later into my late 30s, early 40s, or something like that. Even though I studied about them and I was fascinated and everything, but yeah. Um, so I'm not too familiar what's up there in your general area and up north of you even, but I'm dying to find out at one point or another. I don't know what's going to happen this year, but maybe next year. Who knows? Who knows what's going on? But I keep thinking of mushrooms all the time, and or a lot of the time, and uh, and that's when I think of Vancouver Island. I don't really miss Vancouver Island in many ways. I spent a lot of years there, and I'm kind of tapped out on that. But the one thing that I really miss about Vancouver Island is the serious mushroom hunting and picking, and the volume of um, amount of mushrooms, and also the huge variety they have. Like it seems like almost every variety you can imagine up there. It's one of the mushroom havens that I know of the world, I guess. But yeah. Oh yeah. You were getting Susie, you were getting in the car wondering where to go next, and your daughter's phone started talking to you, telling you things. Yeah, it's listening. I'm just going to scroll through because I'm getting way behind here. That's right, Lori. The dark web is always lurking. Yeah, absolutely. Beth, you say they must think you're so boring. I don't know about that. That's right, Lori. Trolls are the coldest audience. And the collective is that YouTube is pushing you out even further. So the trolls are actually a lot of new people showing up. Yeah, well, for quite a while now, quite a number of live shows. Um, I haven't had any trolls on my channel at all, on my live shows at all for quite a while now. And you remember before that I was getting trolls left, right, and center, and we had to keep clicking them out. That's right, Lori. You are a warm audience. Okay, let's catch up here. I'm just going to miss a few things. That's right, Lori. Only people with passion carry on. That's exactly it. Regardless of um, the remunerations or anything. Beth, is that a hint? Yeah, I think hosts like to sing from time to time. Yeah, you're right. I hadn't thought about that for. Yeah, the pups are gone because the motorhome's getting some extra minor work done, and I couldn't bring it down here today. So, uh, yeah, this weeping willow is beautiful, isn't it, Lori? There's a bunch of them around here. One of my favorite trees. Okay, I'm caught up here now. So, okay, there we go. So, I know Angel is the sunshine girl, but today this song is for you guys, not Angel and the dogs. So let's go with the sunshine song. You are my sunshine, my only sunshine. You make me happy when skies are gray. You'll never know, dear, how much I love you. Please don't take my sunshine away. The other night, dear, as I lay sleeping, I dreamt I held you in my arms. When I awoke, dear, I was mistaken. So I hung my head down and cried. You are my sunshine, my only sunshine. You make me happy when skies are gray. You'll never know, dear, how much I love you. Please don't take my sunshine away. That one's for you guys. I know part of that's supposed to be an intimate song from one person to the other, but uh, you can forget about that part and just go with the mood of the song. You guys are my sunshine. You're welcome, Tess, and everybody. Yes, bringing the sunshine in. Thank you all. Thank you all. Yeah. See, I know you all love that one. But yeah, maybe next week we'll have the girls with me. I don't know. I might do the live somewhere else next week or whatever, um, just for that purpose, so I can actually have the girls with me. Maybe go park somewhere else where I get a really good signal. Right now, the reason I'm here under the willow trees because the house next door here, where is it? There it is, has really high speed Wi-Fi. So I'm running off their Wi-Fi right now, and oh, hello, Cheryl. Glad you're here. Glad you're here. You probably, oh, you're late. Oh, okay. I was gonna say you're probably here. Oh, laptop troubles again. Yeah, I got to get mine fixed, but I have to go to Penticton to get it done. But glad you're here, Cheryl. Glad you finally made it. Oh, excuse me. Oh, that happens once in a while. So anyway, as we were speaking about mushrooms, and the reason it was on my mind so much There, hopefully that doesn't fall over again. So I was out in the orchard walking my little girls this morning, and I came across a few things here. And out here, I've never found anything. Well, there's some things that are edible, but not specifically um, something I would necessarily go out of my way to try and eat or anything like that, unless I was really 100% sure of what I'm doing. And sometimes I'm not. But so I went out, and the first thing I came across, let's put this over here. Oh, you know what I haven't done? Yeah, I'll get to that after the mushrooms. There's something I missed. Anyway, so, whoops, it's starting to fall apart. Oh, it just fell apart. So I came across this one here. It actually looks like one of the meadow mushrooms, an older meadow mushroom. And that's what meadow mushrooms actually look like when they actually age. So they get underneath, instead of being like a very light pink color or salmon color, they get chocolate brown like that. So this could theoretically be um, just an older meadow mushroom because they all look that way. But the thing is they're not growing in an actual meadow. They're growing in the grass around the orchard here, around the apple trees and stuff like that. And that's not typically where they would grow, in the grass around the orchard. And the reason there's mushrooms growing around here is because they have sprinklers come on and off throughout every day in every section where all the trees are, no matter what, whether they're pears or plums or apples or whatnot. And that's what helps is the water. That's what makes mushrooms grow. You go through a long dry summer season, and then when the heavy rains come in September in a lot of places, especially like Vancouver Island, that's what triggers the mushrooms. That's what my book is called. All the rain promises and more. And it's all about the rain promising you mushrooms. Anyway, this could easily be a meadow mushroom. Um, it's very similar, and it could be an older one. But basically, what you'd want to do is find clusters of them around so that you can see the little ones and the medium ones and the bigger ones and identify them as a group to make sure you know that they are actually truly meadow mushrooms. And the one thing that's setting me off on this one is because the stem isn't straight up and down like meadow mushrooms are pretty much always just straight up and down. And this one comes down and has a bit of a hook at the end like that. And that is a kind of one of the telltale signs of the look-alike mushroom that looks like meadow mushroom and has all the identifying marks and features in that of a meadow mushroom, except that hook there, and also where they grow. That's another thing. If they're not in an actual nice meadow, um, like this is a grassy area, but it's not what you would consider a meadow, right? And the grass only grows here because of the sprinklers. But yeah, so this one, I'm positive that it is one of the lookalikes, and it's probably not edible. Could be poisonous. I don't know. I've not, I'd have to look it up again, but and I know what I'd be looking for in the book there to see what it is, but I can't remember if it's poisonous or just not recommended. But that it could be not good for you. But anyway, I'm convinced this is not the real meadow mushroom. This is a lookalike. Now, and then right beside it was some of these little buttons here. These are just the little youngest ones that are coming up that are and end up looking like the one I just showed you. So if I take that off, yeah, you can't even see inside. It's not developed enough. But anyway, here's another one here. And this is what the meadow mushrooms look like underneath. They have that really nice kind of, this is a bit darker pink, kind of a salmon color. And that looks very much like a meadow mushroom, very much. Except it has a bit of a hook on the end here too as well. It kind of drops off that way. Meadow mushrooms are almost consistently straight up and down stems without the curve or hook on the end of it like that. And this was in the general area of the other one. So, but see, both meadow mushrooms and these ones start off very, very light pink underneath, and then they slowly darken like this. They become deeper and deeper pink or salmon color, and then they turn chocolate brown. They both kind of do the exact same thing, except for where they grow. And that one telltale sign is the hook kind of thing on the bottom of the stem. So that's a lot of people could have mistaken that for a meadow mushroom and eat it, and I don't know what the outcome would be, but it probably wouldn't be good. Anyway, I know I'm missing some comments here, and I hope you don't mind if I don't catch your comments. If you do, if it's important. Oh wow. Oh wait, wait. See there, I missed somebody. Mark, glad you could make it, Mark. How was your holiday? Good? Yeah, I missed quite a few here. I'm just going to skip through them all because unless there's something really important. Oh, Lori, you have lots of them in your yard right now? Yeah, it's that time of year. No, Lori, I don't think you can eat this mushroom that I just showed you. I seriously doubt it. Spider. And Mark, you're talking about pasta and cheesy sauce. Oh, with mushrooms. Yeah. Yes, absolutely. That's right, Beth. The book's name is All the Rain Promises and More. It's by David Aurora. Here's the book here. This is the handbook. He's got a bigger book as well, but All the Rain Promises and More. David Aurora. He's one of the best experts on mushrooms ever. I know. What's the other guy? Stamets. Stamets. I can't remember. Is it Paul Stamets or something? Anyway, he knows a bunch about mushrooms, but in a different sense. Whereas David Aurora has doing this all his life, and he's really good at searching and looking and identifying them and identifying pretty much every mushroom out there. He's the best authority on mushrooms that I've ever found. Yeah, I cook when I cook dinner. I feed my dogs first as well. And I usually do steak and liver and chicken and all that kind of stuff for them. And you're having spaghetti and meatballs. Oh, you had meteor showers last night, eh, Pete? Up north, that happens a lot more up north. Anyway, I'm just catching up. Oh, are you taking off, Tess? I'm glad you can make it. It's almost midnight there. Yeah. What time is it anyway? Wow, we've already been an hour. Wow. It's going by real fast again. But yeah, hopefully, if I miss you, Tess, um, you take care and have a great week ahead of you and stay safe, especially safe out where you are. And stay safe and healthy there, Tess. Thanks for hanging out again. There's these stupid spider again, these jumping ones. I don't like them. Okay, I'm caught up there, so let's go on with this. So, uh, anyway, other than those ones, oh yeah, this is it here. There's another one here. It's one of the puffballs. Where's my knife? Oh, it's right there. One of the puffballs looks like a puffball. You've all seen these. They're just a big round, or well, small or medium or large round things. But the ones they have here, the puffballs they have here, the only ones I've seen, they're called Western Giant Puffballs, and they can range from small, even smaller than this, or they can be this size, or they can even get massive, massive, depending on where you are. And I've seen there's one that was over here last week, and it's actually shriveled up and died and everything. I couldn't pick it for you. It was like this big around. It was a big, big one. But anyway, the puffballs, most puffballs, including these ones, are edible, but only if they're really firm and pure white inside. Once they start to go yellow or green or even brown, uh, they're starting to develop into doing their sporing stage, Whereas, you know, a lot of puffballs in your grass, in your lawn, where you mow your lawn, they come up and then they eventually turn brown and they pop open. And if you step on them, a big puff of almost looks like smoke comes out of them, brown smoke, and that's them sporing out to grow more. So this one, I don't know how long it was sitting there, but I'm going to cut it in half. See, that's almost pure white inside, except you can tell it's getting a very, very light hint of yellow. And that's, you could possibly eat this one now. I don't know. I've never eaten them myself, and I never eaten any puffballs myself, and I don't really plan on in the future unless I find some really, really good specimens, and I know for sure they're good. But you might be able to eat this. I don't know, but they say the only time you want to eat them is when they're really. This is pretty firm too. It's not that soft. They want to be really firm inside, the flesh inside, and I guess you'd probably peel the skin off because the skin is fairly thick, and it has to be pure white. And if it's firm and pure white, then it's edible, and then you just skin it and then cut the white ball into small cubes, and then you saute them, or you can put them in soups or something like that. So this one's not too far along. Whoops. But they are edible at a certain stage. It's just that there's so many good, wonderful ones out there that are so wonderful and tasty. Especially, like I say, in places like Vancouver Island, where it's just mushroom heaven. That you don't need to eat everything out there. Like there's many others that I could eat, but I don't. Here's another. Here's actually 3 of them. Throw that down there. 3 of them, and I found these just across the little road here from me. And this one here, see? Can you see that? See how it's puffing out? That's it. It's sporing out, and it's all dark brown inside, and it's kind of very, very soft in that. And it's kind of dark brown and green, the kind of thing. And if you squeeze it, you can see all the spores sporing out there. So I'm just going to throw that there. And these ones are a little bit not so old. This one's got a lot. And because of the orchard, they have tons of water in some of them. So I cut that one in half. Oh yeah, okay, that one is just about ready to be at that point, that one I threw on the ground there. It's all dark brown inside, really soft and very soft, spongy. And if I had to let that go, it'll still spore out anyway, eventually, just drying out on the ground. But if I had waited a few more days in that, it might have cracked open and been so dry that it would do that puff of spores like the last one. And here's another one. Whoops. Same thing. It's just turned chocolate brown, and it's not quite ready to crack open and spore out like the first one. But yeah, so those are, and I've found, like I said, I found some that are this big. Now the interesting thing is, up here, I guess in this area, or whatever, in BC, they don't seem to get much more than about that size and everything. But in certain places, like I'm trying to figure out where they are. This didn't say. Doesn't say precisely, but it's talks about them as the giant puffball is common on the west coast. So it would be common in California, all through California, probably New Mexico, maybe Arizona, places like that. But they're all through the west, and including up in all of western BC. Now, just give you a couple of, when they say giant western puffball, they're not kidding. Here's one example there. Look at that kid there. She's just a little girl. She's probably 5 years old or 6 years old or something like that. Look at the size of that puffball. And that one's perfectly edible still because it's in good shape. And then this other guy here, he's got one that's bigger than his head. But that's a giant puffball too. Giant western. And these are down somewhere in the States. All these pictures of these ones are somewhere down in the States. And on the bottom of that picture there, you can see all those kids with all those puffballs all through the field. And that's the kind of thing the meadows and fields they generally grow in, or they can grow in just areas that are have been manicured and mowed with a lawnmower and stuff like that, or just cow pastures and stuff like that. But anyway, those are the giant western puffballs, and that's what these are. But these ones here don't grow as big as that. Those, like I say, are in the southern states. Anyway, whoops. I gotta catch up on these. See if I missed anything important. Oh wait, what? Susie's taking off. I don't know if you're taking off too, Susie. If you're already gone, sorry about that. But you're going to the daughter's place. See, your insurance frowns on on phone in car. Oh yeah, right. Yeah, yeah. You got to watch using your car in the your phone in the car. Exactly, exactly. Anyway, you take care, Susie. I hope I haven't missed you, but if I have, we'll see you next week. Oh, Cheryl, you got a gardener to do the yard work, and next week he's going to cut down 2 of your trees for $100. Oh, that's not too bad. Not too bad at all. Yeah. And I hope you're getting all the other stuff done, like your washing machine and all those other projects. Ah, Mark, when you were in Cyprus, you got loads of prawns. Ah, I love prawns. Yes, yes. Okay. Whoops. You buy several types of mushrooms, eh, Lori? Yeah. There's a bunch in the store I like too. Enoki mushroom, that's a nice one too. But yeah, I like them store bought, they're safe. And sometimes magical mushrooms. Oh, you also took your car for the smog test, eh, Cheryl? It didn't pass. Oh, he said one of the sensors was asleep. You have to put another 100 miles on it and then see if it'll pass. Yeah, in places like where you live and that, and in cities like Vancouver and that, they have you got to test your car every so often for smog testing. But once you get out of the cities like Vancouver and that, everywhere else, I don't know of anywhere that makes you do that. Not in this area, but yeah. Anyway, I'm caught up again there. So this brings me to that's that puffball. There's the other half of these two. I'm just going to toss them out here too because I'm not interested in those. But this morning when I was walking my girls around the orchard again, I went to the spot that last year I saw a whole bunch of fairy ring mushrooms. And the reason I didn't pick any last year was because it was a it was a little later than this. It was sometime mid September or late September. Anyway, we're we were doing all the apples. Everything else was done except the apples, and it was so dry and everything. And down in the spot just over here, there's a big open spot. That's where they stack the bins of apples, and then the truck. We bring the trucks down. They load the bins on the truck. We strap it down and take them off. And anyway, there's it's really dry down there, but you're at the edge of the apple orchards on both sides, and they got the sprinklers going, like I said. And anyway, I saw a huge amount of fairy ring mushrooms, and they really look good, and they're in perfect shape, except that it's so dry there where the trucks are driving that it's on this really dusty area. The whole ground is just nothing but dust. There's almost no rocks or anything. It's just this dust everywhere. And I think it's the dust from because that's where they put the piles of manure, and it ends up spreading out there. And just it's anyway when you even when you're stepping and walking, all these puffs of dust go up and everything. So what happened with those mushrooms is that um, I guess the sprinklers went on them, and then when the sprinklers are off, the dust floats around and got all top of them, and they're all like really dusty on top, and it's like it's almost impossible to take them home and wash them and everything like that. It's a lot of work, so it's not much fun and not necessarily worth it in the end, kind of thing. But anyway, so I walked by that spot just to see, and I went to the exact same spot I saw them last year, and I found a whole bowl full of them right here. Look at that, a whole bowl full of fairy ring mushrooms, and that's what they look like on top, and then underneath. I'll just try and show you. Underneath, they look like that. Oh, my fingers are in the way. I can't grip it properly there. It's under like that. Anyway, these are one of the most underappreciated mushrooms. They're all over your anywhere you got a good lawn and you keep it watered and you got good grass there. You'll probably get tons of them every year, kind of thing. Most underappreciated. Like here's another one. It's older and that and fully grown and everything like that. But they are really really good, fresh or cooked. And fresh, I like them the best fresh because they have this really really nice nutty flavor to them. Mm, there's that standard typical flavor. Oh my god, those are good. And they even retain most of that nuttiness, the nutty flavor when they're cooked. And I just saute them down until any moisture's out of them, and then I add either oil or butter or whatever it is I want to do with them. But these are really really good. Now the thing with these ones, with the fairy ring mushrooms, mm, there's that typical wonderful flavor. And they do have some lookalikes that may or may not be poisonous. I don't know. I don't know what the lookalikes actually are. But when you find these all in like a huge, there's a huge cluster of them, and there's lots more there still. I can go and pick a lot more, but you can see I got quite a few of them there to make a good little dish. But the thing is one of the characteristics, and I think on the lookalikes it's not quite the same, but you don't want to eat the stems because they're really firm and they're kind of woody. And if you try and eat them, they're really, really chewy and they're just like eating a piece of wood, like a piece of a branch of a tree or something. So all you do is you just take the little caps off, take the little caps off the stems like that, and you throw the stems away because you just don't want to eat them and chew them, and they have less flavor than the caps do. So you take all the caps off, then you cook them down to whatever, however you want to do. Or if you want, you can make a soup or stew and just throw them fresh into the stew without sauteing them. I love to saute them because they're just so wonderful that way. But yes, they're one of the best tasting mushrooms out there. And it takes a lot of them to make a meal because they're generally so small. Like the bigger one I showed you, that's probably the generally the biggest I get. I've seen them bigger, but yeah, I just love these. So I saw them there, and they're very clean. They didn't get all dusty yet. That's how the tops are nice and clean. That's what the way you want to look. But they're kind of sort of medium brown last year because they're covered in this dark brown dust and everything from the rain or from the sprinklers. But so yeah, I'm gonna take these home and I'm going to pluck all the caps off and throw the stems away, and I'll probably cook them. I got some fish out for tonight for me, so I'll probably just saute them down and have them beside my fish. And yeah, they're very very good, very wonderful. Let's see if I can find them quickly. Don't always remember where everything is in the book, so I have to. Yeah, sometimes I have to look them up. Oh, what a fairy. Okay, I was way off. Come on, come on. There they are. So that's them there. That's a better example than what I showed you. You've got a better picture of them. They show you the tops and the underneath there, so you can see that. And then you've probably seen them all through your grass, your lawn, just like that. They can be out there, and they're very, very abundant. There's generally when you see fairy ring mushrooms, there's a huge, huge amount of them, or at least one big cluster, and they generally cluster together. And I don't know if you can see it in there, but only on some of them they look that way. But they have this little, in the center of their cap, they have a little dome on the top. It looks almost like with some mushrooms, like the Liberty caps, a magic mushroom. They have what they call a nipple on top. It's very identifiable. But this is almost like it wants to be a nipple, but it's just a little tiny dome. They have the cap around like that, and then little round dome thing on the top, right above the stem. But that's what they are, and they're one of the most underappreciated mushrooms at all. And they are so delicious. And whenever I can find a good batch, I'll always take them home, as many as I can get. Yes, that's right. Fish and mushrooms, Beth. Yes, whoops. I got to catch up. Yeah, that's another one, Pete. King bolete. King bolete is one of the best of the boletes. There's so many boletes, and some are not edible. They're poisonous. Some just might make you a little sick. And but a great many of the boletes are more boletes are edible than not edible. Let's put it that way. And but some of them, even some of the edible ones, like I think it's slippery jack or something like that, or poor man's jack. That was it. They're very insipid and kind of flimsy and not very fantastic or anything. But a lot of boletes, you've seen a lot of my videos probably about me collecting boletes and everything. That's another thing too. You're right, Pete, and Pete and Lori. Yeah, you're right. Um, if you find a bunch of fairy ring mushrooms in your lawn, if it's your own personal lawn, you'll probably know what's going on there. But if you're walking up through different through the neighborhood and you walk across different people's lawns and you see them, you don't know whether they've sprayed any pesticides or anything on them. So you got to be really careful. When I find them out in the fields, like where I picked in on Vancouver Island down by the pond that the girls love to go around and walk around, where I found a lot of the meadow mushrooms. That was a good area to also find fairy ring mushrooms. And I know by contacting the town that they never, in any of their areas there in Qualicum Beach, they never spray anything on any of their meadows or fields or anything. They're very, very particular throughout the whole town of they never ever spray anything, pesticides or any kind of stuff anywhere. So if you're finding the mushrooms in the fields and meadows out there, you're good to go. But if you're walking by somebody's yard that has their house there, you don't know what they've sprayed or if they've sprayed anything there. So you got to be very selective of where you pick them and to eat them. So you got to know your spots. So if I'm seeing them all over like neighbors' lawns and stuff, even though I'm tempted to pick them all and eat them, I generally would never do that because I don't know unless I see them out in their yard and I go, "Hey, do you ever spray pesticides or anything on your lawn?" And they go, "No, never, never, never." Then I'll ask them if I can pick them. And you all should always should ask someone too. You don't just want to walk in their yard and start picking mushrooms. But anyway, but that's another thing. Yeah, you guys mentioned you got to be careful they're not sprayed with anything. Now another thing, someone mentioned one time, but king boletes, they're great. I've never found a king bolete myself. I found the queen boletes which are very, very close and very similar, and just as delectable. But I found all sorts of other boletes like Matt Jack and I can't remember all the names all the time. There's so many of them. But yeah, the boletes can be very, very delicious too. Yeah, and you said yes, steaks of the mushroom. They, actually, there is a. Didn't it again? Why are you doing that? There is an actual mushroom out there. It's called a beefsteak mushroom, and actually, when you slice it and cook it, it actually looks like steak. It really does. It's very interesting. But yeah, Beth, fish and mushrooms. You have this exact same mushroom in your garden as well as your wood pile. Um, well, in your garden on your grass, you'll find those fairy ring mushrooms, Lori. But if they're in your wood pile, they're probably not fairy ring mushrooms. Um, I would have to see the area to really know. I mean, sometimes they'll grow in a place where there's a lot of wood chips on the ground, but it's a place where naturally a grassy lawn would grow as well. So it's can be tricky. Turkey tail mushrooms, yeah, they're great. You don't want to eat them raw; they're very tough and chewy, unless they're very very young. But um, you can cook them up and make tea and stuff like that with them. And that's right, Pete. They're good for killing cancer apparently and stuff like that. They're one of the what do you call it? Medicinal mushrooms out there. Yeah, turkey tail mushrooms. Yeah. Oh, Cheryl, you heard the song "Greatest Love of All," and now it's stuck in your head. Yeah, that was the one I did a little while ago, wasn't it? "Greatest Love of All." Yeah, I barely pulled that one off. That's right, Lori. Cancer is so hard, but it's going to get better soon. Yes, with more people. One of the reasons I want to check and go back in the comments, check and make sure I haven't missed anyone. Like I was wondering if Carl was around at all or what's going on. Yeah, the turkey tails, the lion's mane. Um, I think it's the reishi mushroom. Oh, the conch, one of the conchs. Yeah, they're great medicinal healing mushrooms. Someone's going. Oh, Lori, you beat the odds and won cancer free today. I didn't even know you were fighting it. That's it. Cool. Awesome. Congratulations. Cancer free today. Wonderful. Wonderful news. Yes. Hallelujah. Amen. Yes, like everyone's saying. Yeah, Cheryl, a lot of mushroom names can be really, really funny. Like one of them's chicken of the woods. Like, and then there's the fried chicken mushroom. I can't think of any right off the top of my head. But that's right, Lori. Horse poop and it can be a compost and gets lots of mushrooms. Most of, yeah, lion's mane is a hero there, Lori. Yeah, awesome. So I'm caught up there finally. So I actually forgot this earlier, and I mentioned that I'd forgotten something, and it was to start the show off right, which I started with the Lord's Prayer, but we missed something. I missed something. So we need to do Psalm 23 because it's such a clear and concise and well put together psalm. I think it's the best one as far as structure and everything goes about the Psalms. It's perfect. It just says it exactly the way it needs to be said, and it's just beautiful. But let's get to it. Psalm 23. The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. He makes me lie down in green pastures. He leads me beside still waters. He restores my soul. He guides me in the paths of righteousness for his name's sake. And yet, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I shall fear no evil, for thou art with me. Your rod and your staff, they comfort me. You prepare a table before me in the presence of my enemies, and you anointed my head with oil, and my cup runneth over. Surely goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life, and I shall dwell in the house of my Lord forever and ever. Amen. One of them, that's a one the line that I really like, um, specifically like what I was talking about before about when you pray and you don't just ask and beg for things. What you want to do is you want to just say thank you, Lord, for all these things you've brought into my life, as if you've already got them, even though you haven't yet. Just keep praying and saying thank you, Lord, for this or that you've brought to my life. It's fantastic, and I love it. Pray as if you've it's already happened. It's already in your sight, in your grasp, and with you. And that's the way you're supposed to pray. People have gotten it wrong for centuries and centuries. But the one I love about this is when I pray, my cup runneth over. Means that I'm filled. I got, and it took me, like I said, years to come to certain conclusions, like most of my life. Didn't start happening but till I was like 60 and beyond. And one of the things is that I always say is that I have such an abundance of everything. Everything is in abundance. I never say, "Oh, I'm lacking this," or "There's a scarcity of that," or "There's a," you know what I'm saying? There's not enough of anything. There's always an abundance of everything. It doesn't matter. Like I go out and go, "Wow, there's an abundance of apples out here. There's an abundance of trees. There's an abundance of birds. There's an abundance of fish and wildlife. There's abundance of everything." But in my life, when I'm talking about me specifically in my life, I always thank the Lord and say, I have an abundance of food here. I have so much food that I can probably never eat it all. Sometimes I have to throw some out, but I always have an abundance of food, Lord, and thank you very much. I always have an abundance of clothing, Lord, and thank you very much. I always have an abundance of this or that or the other thing, and thank you very much. It doesn't matter what it is, I always have an abundance. And the more you talk like that, um, the more it's just going to be true in your life, and the more abundance He will bring into your life, so that you're just overflowing, and you have more than you can ever use yourself, and you might have to share it with others so it doesn't go bad and rotten and throw it away. But there's never any waste, because let's say certain food things would, if they go start to go off and go bad and rotten, you throw them in the compost to grow more stuff, right? But there's never ever a lack of. It's always there's an abundance of everything. And I say to him, I got so much abundance. I have an abundance of my home. It's a beautiful home, and wonderful. I love it, and it suits me just perfectly. And I have an abundance of little friends with me, my two girls. Just I have an abundance of everything, and I always used to see life as lacking all the time as I was growing up, especially when I was younger. Oh, I'm lacking this. I don't have that. I don't have that, and I was always lacking because I kept thinking that and feeling that and saying that, like, oh, you know, there's always a drought of this or a drought of that, or a lack of this or lack of that. But I finally learned that you just say there's an abundance of everything. It doesn't matter what it is. There's abundance of air out here. There's abundance of everything, and everything is wonderful and abundant. And the more you do that, the more abundance you have. And I for quite a few years now, I've been looking in my fridge and my cupboards and that, and I go, Lord, I have so much food. I have much more than I need, and I thank you so much for it all. And it's true, because even though, like, let's say my fridge is only full for now, and I know maybe 2 weeks or something, I'll have to fill it up again. It's still an abundance there. Like, I'll never run out of food. There's always so much, and there's always so much food everywhere. Like, everywhere you go and look around, there's always food. There's always clothing. There's always everything. And I love that line. My cup runneth over. My cup overflows. It's very true. He brings an overflowing amount of everything into your life. And I lack for nothing ever. I never lack for anything. I've always got water. I've always got clothing. I've always got food. The three things he says you'll never ever lack for is water, food, and clothing. That's the number one three things that he always says. And then there's everything else beyond that. And I never lack for anything, absolutely. Always got what I need all the time. And the more I feel that way and appreciate that and understand that, and the more I tell him that, the more I have, and it just keeps getting better and better all the time. And I think that was a huge change in my life and improvement is when I finally realized that and adopted the thinking and belief and everything like that. And it's not just adopting the belief; it's knowing that it's true. Like I look in my cupboards and I got more than enough food. Like I've got canned sardines and canned kippered herring and stuff like that. I've got canned tuna. I've got other things that I've put away and there's in my cupboard of canned foods and stuff. I got a huge thing of canned food like all different types of beans, like maple beans and regular beans, tomato beans, and what do you call that stuff? Chili con carne in cans and soups and all sorts. A huge thing that I may never even get to. But so if I run out of the fresh stuff like fresh meat and fresh produce and everything that I got at home, I still won't starve to death because I got food everywhere. And if that runs out, there'll just be more food everywhere. Anyway, that's one of the lines I like in that. I like every single line. They each speak to you in their own specific and special way. But that one speaks to me a lot is because, like I say, in my later years, I've finally realized that we've always got an abundance of everything and we're never lacking. And especially whenever we thank the Lord for all the abundance in life that we have, we just get more and more and more. And I just noticed this, Lori, right on. Education is power. I don't know if you're exactly talking about that, but you guys are having great conversations amongst yourself. That's great. I'm just going to make sure I haven't missed anything too important. Oh, no, I didn't, Cheryl. Thanks for telling me. Rod Stewart had a stint put in. I'm not sure where exactly, but obviously in one of the blood vessels. Now, when I had my stroke and I was in the hospital, one of the first things the neurologist said to me, he says, we've got to do this and got to do that. And he said, we may have to put a stint in. And that would have been right up here in the blood vessel going to my brain. But fortunately enough, I healed very quickly and that wasn't necessary at all. And I've got one more CT stick scan coming up in the first week of September, and then I have a conference call with him in the first week of October. So, and everything's going good. I'm doing all my tests and stuff. And one of the one things is they wanted me to do blood pressure tests every week. So I go in every week, I do a blood pressure test and write down the results, and it just gets better and better. So I'm improving a lot. But no, I didn't hear that about Rod Stewart, Cheryl. Yeah, thanks for telling me. Beth, people eating mushrooms while wishing for other foods. Actually, I couldn't say I necessarily live on mushrooms, but if I had an abundance of mushrooms and very little else, I would be happy with an abundance of wonderful mushrooms. Yeah, everyone's going amen to Psalm 23. It's wonderful. Yep. That's right, Lori. Cups are always full of abounding things. Amen. That's right. Beth, prime time to learn. Actually, eager to keep learning. Yes. You never stop learning. I don't care how old you get, you never stop learning. And if you stop learning, one interesting thing I heard once is um, never stop being the student and become the teacher, because once you become the teacher, then you've lost it. You've lost it. Because once you think you're the teacher, that you think you know everything and there's nothing left to learn and know. And now you're going to teach other people. Well, your teaching is limited because you're still not the student. So even a teacher has to continue to be the student, because there's always new stuff to learn constantly, every second of the day, every week, month, year, and all that. You'll never stop, and you'll be learning right up until the day you die, probably. Education is power. That's right, Lori. Yeah. Beth, 60 is just right. Thanks. I'm 71. Thanks, Beth. Kent is good at pointing out these positive things you do declare. Oh, thanks, Cheryl. Thanks. Thanks for that compliment. Thank you. That's right, Pete. Jesus ate plenty of fish and sardines. Yeah, he did a lot of, he fed the masses with fish and loaves of bread. And he had, I think it was 5 fish and a couple of loaves of bread, and he turned it into food for 5,000 people. So he kept, hard to miraculously creating more and more fish and bread out of those couple of loaves and the handful of fish. Yeah. Oh, thank you, Lori. If I ever come to America, I can park at your place. Thank you so much. It's in Illinois. I don't know if we'll get that far down, but I don't even know if I'm going to get to the United States. I want to, but I'm not sure if I'm going to ever get there. I'm just not sure. So many places I want to do here, and I haven't done yet. So, well, that's great. You have water and electrical hookup too. That's awesome. No, I haven't actually thought of creating a USA trip travel thing. No. Thanks, Mark. Make sure to double tap. Thank you. Well, thanks for the compliments again, Lori. You're always full of the wonderful compliments. Oh, thank you, Mark. Thank you. Another wonderful compliment. I never felt about myself the way Lori seems to feel about being handsome and all that, but I finally, that was another thing with age. I started realizing probably more in my late 30s, early 40s, somewhere through there. Maybe by the time I was 50, I don't know, but feeling that, yeah, okay, I'm good looking and I'm allowed to say it, kind of thing. I'm just speaking the truth. But I never thought that about myself when I was younger. Not at all. I was very down on myself, let's put it that way, without going into much detail. But thanks for that compliment, though, Mark. It's good. It's funny in a way, because I think one of the things that started me on that thought process was, I don't know, was late 30s, somewhere in my 40s or something, and even maybe early 50s. I don't know. But there was a few times in my life, like I'm pretty sure it was at least 3 times, maybe more. But this was coming from men, um, which I don't know. If women say you're handsome and that's one thing, and it's good and it's complimentary and everything like that, and they know what they're talking about when it comes to men, I guess. But if a man says something complimentary to another man, it's even more. I don't know. It almost seems like it's more valid or something in a way. But anyway, 3 different occasions in my life, probably um, each 10 years apart. The only 3 I can remember is I'd be talking to some guy, and one of the first things he said after meeting me was, "Man, why aren't you in Hollywood making movies and stuff like that?" And all 3 comments were almost very, very identical in that sense. It was always like, "You should be in Hollywood making movies" or something like that. And it was like, it just struck me. I was like, "Whoa!" Like it set me back. Like, first I wasn't expecting it, but it's something you I don't know. Like I didn't think that stuff about myself and that. And when they said that, I was like, wow, I must be up there, sort of there somewhere, for men to come straight out and say that to me, because women are catty amongst women, kind of thing. I think that's pretty traditional, or a lot of people seem to think so, and men can be about the same thing as though. put each other down. Like it's sort of a camaraderie thing, but they say negative things about each other, mostly joking around and that, but they never usually compliment each other on much anything, especially on their looks. But anyway, I thought that was fascinating, uh, because yeah, I was never into like vanity in that sense either. You know, I was what I was, and it was all about what I was inside, not on the outside kind of thing. You know, not that I didn't think of it now and again especially when you're younger. But yeah, that was very interesting to have that happen. Oh, that's interesting, Beth. Here's your theory with age. It's an interesting thing. There, we're back live. I had a buffering moment. I don't know if you caught that as well, but yeah, I kind of lost signal for a second. It must be near, yeah, it's almost the same time. It's always within about 10 or 5 minutes before 2 o'clock. It always does that buffering thing on my end for sure. But anyway, Beth, here's your theory with age. It's an interesting thing. The more relaxed inside, the better the outside looks. That could be very true. It's all about attitude. Definitely about attitude. If you go around feeling like you're ugly, you're probably not going to look very good, even if you were born good looking. Yeah, it makes a lot of sense. Your mind and thoughts really have a lot to do with how you look, how you perceive things around you, and all that kind of stuff. They have an effect on it, and they change it either way, one way or the other. So yeah, and Lori's right on, Beth. Yeah, exactly. Oh, it's dancing eyes. They don't lie. Okay. Yeah, I don't care about vanity anymore either. We got another one. Must be Cheryl's comment. Show. I gotta show it. Beth said it's my theory and you're sticking to it. Why would they hold that comment for a review? I don't get it. They've done that to Cheryl twice, or at least twice or three times on Over My Lives, where she'll say something and it'll hold it for a review. Well, like, why? It's not like it's saying anything bad. That's AI. AI is not always as good as it thinks it is. Sometimes it gets. Oh, thank you, Cheryl. That's a really huge compliment. I remind you of Robert Duvall. He's a great actor. I've always loved watching him act in anything he's done, and he's great. And he was a great human being as well. But thank you. I take that as a huge compliment. Robert Duvall. I get a lot of like Bruce Willis and who are the other ones? I can't even remember who they are. But there was three of them I used to get. One was Bruce Willis, and that was when I guess I had my toque on. And there was a couple other things, but Robert Duvall, never ever got that one before, and I can sort of see what you see, and not so much the similarities, but the or likeness, but not so much the likeness, but the similarities. I guess. But that's a huge compliment. He's great. Oh, Glenn, how you doing? Glad you can make it, Glenn. I don't know if you've been here watching all the time, but if you just showed up, glad you can make it. We're just about done here. Again, that's what happens is in the last half hour or so, half hour, 20 minutes, a lot of people show up. A lot of the regular subscribers show up sometimes. Yeah, Lori, that comment about dancing eyes from Beth, that was a good one. But I hope you're doing well, Glenn. Hope you're doing well. Just trying to catch up again. Yeah, it's weird, Lori. They hold certain words that might make others uncomfortable, but there was no words in there that I could see on that comment by, I think it was Beth, wasn't it? Yeah, I think it was Beth. And the same with Cheryl's comments. There was nothing in there I could see that would be uncomfortable for anybody. And if it's just a word standing on its own that they choose, well, that's just stupid because, you know, words have so many meanings all the time. And in our day and age, as the years go by, they add more and more bad meanings to certain words. There's a lot of words you can't say without someone thinking something uh, nasty. Oh, so you did just get here, eh, Glenn? Well, I'm glad you made it anyway. Just in the brink of time. That's right, but I don't think that's right, Lori. But I don't think the robots are smart enough to understand. They need to see the whole context instead of just one word. Like if you say trash, they could probably take that and say, "Oh, that's a bad word. Let's block that comment." But it depends on the context of the sentence you're using it in. So, if you're calling somebody trash, well, that's the whole context is not good. But if you're saying, "Oh, I just took the trash out," that's just normal. Anyway, I don't like the way they attack just a specific word in without using the whole context of the sentence or conversation. So anyway, I just think AI is not as wonderful as people make it out to be. It can be good in a lot of ways, but oh, my back is killing me again. It's sitting in this position on the quad. Um, wow, the smoke is starting to come in again. It was actually quite clear this morning, but yeah, you could see all the mountains, but it's actually hazing over again. Look at that. I could see actually the trees on the mountains earlier this morning when I first came out and walked the dogs, but now it's coming in again, and a lot of that is just because the Carameus Valley here, the whole valley it's Carameus means where the winds meet, and there's like four of them. They come in from four different directions: southeast, north, and west, more or less, and they just seem to bring the winds from every direction around. And an interesting thing about it is this is one that has been lately one of the smokiest places in the whole area, Okanagan area, and that. But we're the only one that's not on fire. Like Soyuz was on fire, Summerland, Peachland, Manning Park was even on fire, Vernon was on fire, all over the place is on fire and burning. And especially the latest one was the one by Summerland there, where they evacuated over 20,000 people, and they all had to go to Penticton now, which Penticton was busy enough, and now with an extra 20,000 people, it's going to be jam packed, and the traffic's going to be crazy. But anyway, yeah, it's. I think that's what's happening here is we don't get burned really. I think it's burned once here in the last number of years, and not very badly as well. But we're the only place so far that hasn't caught on fire, and but we're getting all the smoke from everywhere, including from Washington and anywhere across the line here that's been on fire. Well, I guess Washington is the main state that's right there. I don't even think we touch into, what is it, Idaho? I think we're only just mostly here touching Washington from most of BC. But yeah, it's crazy, crazy. I just looked up and I noticed that. I went, wow, it was a lot nicer this morning. But anyway, when I'm saying about it, we have to go. That's right, Lori. The leaders will win in the end. They'll win the game in the end, yeah. That's right, Cheryl. The willow tree can't give me a huge hug anymore. Yeah, they trimmed it all back. I guess it was 2 weeks ago. Yeah. But that's where I did my last couple of songs there. Prisoners by John Denver and Rocky Mountain High by John Denver. I was standing on the other side of the trunk there of the tree. Anyway, yeah. Okay. Thank you, Lori. I like to think I'm fairly well educated. I like to keep myself educated. I like to constantly learn. I never want to stop learning. Never want to stop being the student. Never want to become the teacher, because when you become the teacher, you forget how to learn. You think you know it all and you're going to teach everyone else. Well, but you stop learning because you stop being the student. But anyway, thank you for that. But yeah, anyway, the reason I on days like today is I'd like to quit at 2 o'clock, 2 hours generally. Is first of all the girls aren't with me, and I worry about them. And when I get back to see them after 1 or 2 hours of being away, they go nuts on me for like 10, 15 minutes, it seems. And they just can't leave me alone. And they're jumping all over me and whining and complaining and going, "We missed you, Dad. We missed you, Dad." And I don't like to stress them out like that. And so that's why I'm hoping next week I will try and do a live show somewhere where I can have the motorhome and have them with me. So we'll work on that. But yeah, so yeah, I guess I didn't do much singing today, did I? I think I did the one song, the Sunshine song, and then did a lot of talking. But and I don't have. Oh, I have my phone here to look things up, but I don't have a list of songs or anything. Where did my phone go? Oh, there it is, under there. I don't know what I've got, if anything. Ah, that's right, Lori. You feel sorry for the teachers who have to deal with kids' withdrawals because of their iPhone removal. Yeah, they get their face out of the iPhone or any um, Android or anything, any thing, and have to come back to reality and start learning. Oh, I never took shorthand. My mom was really good at shorthand. Beth, yeah. And Mark, you like it when I stream outside. Yeah, I think a lot of people do. So Cheryl, maybe I could sing more next week. Hopefully, yeah. But I've had such a great time. I had the mushrooms here to show you and I had lots to talk about and discuss. And when the comments came up, I had to address them and everything like that. That's right, Lori. The children of today don't have a clue about life. Nothing. They haven't learned anything in school. They've taken all the real, actual learning out of school. It was a progressive thing happening. Um, Luckily, when I came out of high school and then went to college, we still learned a lot of really good stuff, and especially during school, elementary school and high school. Um, yeah, and it was in the day. And then sometime after I got out of school, things really started going downhill. They don't teach them nothing anymore. I've seen a lot of the school books and stuff like that that kids have these days, and there's nothing in them. They don't teach you anything. They don't. They barely teach you math. Oh yeah, Lori, you have a real phone number book that's not attached to your phone. Yeah, I used to have one of those. I don't anymore. Well, thanks, Cheryl. You enjoy all my songs during the week and on the shorts and that. Well, that's why I do it, is for people like you, because I know you guys enjoy it and want to hear me sing and stuff like that. And I can't sing everything. As you know, there's some stuff I just really suck at, and I just try and do the ones that I can actually pull off. I don't think I'm a good singer in any way, shape, or form, but you guys seem to enjoy it and seem to think I'm good, and that's all that matters to me. Is as long as you feel entertained and enjoy it. That's what makes the difference for me. I don't know what I got in here. I should have something in here. Oh, here's one. I'm going to attempt this one because why is it not coming up with lyrics? Why? It's just coming up with videos. Oh, it just shows me videos. It's not showing me the lyrics. That's weird. Someone just driving by here with a big truck. It does this once in a while. It's really stupid. It's just showing me the videos that have lyrics on them, but it's not showing me the actual lyrics. And it just does this once in a while. I just want the actual lyrics. See, it's videos. I don't want videos. Try this. There, we're getting closer. All right, that took a while, didn't it? Then you got all the pop-up ads you got to deal with until they're okay. I've been working on this one for a couple of weeks now, and I still haven't necessarily quite got it, but I think a lot of you will definitely remember this one. And I just thought of it like a couple of weeks ago. It just popped into my head, and I was like, "Wow, I haven't thought of that one in so many mega years." It's why didn't I think of it before? But I used to love it when I was a little kid. Really loved it. Anyway, Moon River, Andy Williams. Well, this one's by Andy Williams. Moon River, wider than a mile, I'm crossing you in style someday. Oh, dream maker, you heartbreaker, wherever you're going, I'm going your way. Two drifters off to see the world. There's such a lot of world to see. We're after the same rainbow's end, waiting round a bend, my huckleberry friend, Moon River and me. Moon River, wider than a mile, I'm crossing you in style someday. Oh, dream maker, you heartbreaker, wherever you're going, I'm going your way. Two drifters off to see the world. There's such a lot of world to see. We're after that same rainbow's end, waiting round the bend, my huckleberry friend, Moon River and me. That's an oldie. When did that come out? Doesn't tell me. Now that's another thing. Some of them they don't give you the years. Okay, it was Audrey Hepburn who originally sung it in 1961 on Breakfast at Tiffany's. The composer is Henry Mancini with lyrics by Johnny Mercer. 1961. There. Anyway, I thought should give you another song. I gotta put all my stuff away. Gotta put all my stuff away here. My wonderful non-magic fairy ring mushrooms. Get all that ready to put together in that. So I want to double check the comments again, see if I've missed anything. Oh, who was that? Lori. Well, that's a big compliment, Lori. It sounds like I should make a CD and market my beautiful voice, and my music is amazing. You sound amazing, Mr. Sir Kent. Thank you so much, Lori. But sometimes I think you guys are tone deaf. It's yeah. Oh, there you go, Cheryl. You got it, nailed it right on there. You were saying while I was singing it, you said that reminds you of the movie Breakfast at Tiffany's. Yes, exactly. Oh, thanks, Mark. Thank you so much. Now, speaking of that, Lori, you said you have Keys of Enoch in your collection and believe they kept it out. Yeah, they kept it out. I finally went and I got the Ethiopian Bible, and it's got the Book of Enoch, which I already saw a lot of it online. There's only minor parts that I hadn't seen before, but it's also got the Book of the Maccabees. It's got the Book of Jubilees. It's got some other stuff in there anyway. I got that, and it's still missing a whole bunch of books that never got into any Bible, like the Book of Jasher, um, uh, the stories of Adam and Eve, the stories by Adam and Eve, the Book of Yahweh, who actually apparently wrote a book himself. Anyway, so many stuff that's not in there that we're missing. Uh, there's another one. It's not the War Scrolls. The War Scrolls finally came out in the Dead Sea Scrolls they found in the cave, but there's another one, something about wars of something. Yeah. Yeah, I was thinking that too, Beth. I might want to scoot in closer to the camera to for the shorts, and I try to come in close enough. There's another one. Why they did it to yours again, Cheryl? Message held for a review. The plums sure look good. Like, what is wrong with that? Nothing wrong with that. Why are they taking that out of context? It's stupid. Yeah, that's right. AI is burning all ancient books. That's right, Mark. And and a lot of people, like not just AI, but certain people, the government, the elites or something, are collecting as many ancient books as they can find, and they're burning them, shredding and burning them all. They don't want us to know, and it's up to us to find this information and hang on to it. That's why I'm doing it. I've been doing it most of my life, especially in the biblical end of things. But yeah, yeah, me too, Lori. I'm collecting those books too. But like I say, I got the Ethiopian Bible and going through that. Yeah, Beth, it's a good thing you saved the important documents in a hard copy. Yep, not good to destroy any of that. Yeah, I've been looking into Frank Sinatra too, Beth. I keep trying it, but I forget about it. Well, Lori, you have the same Bible too. I got the one. It's made by Faith Made. Apparently, a lot of them are fake out there, and they don't have all the 88 books. The one I got has 88 books, and like I say, there's still books out there missing that have been taken out thousands of years ago, and we may never see copies of them in our lifetime. I don't know, but once the Lord returns, He's going to tell us and show us everything, absolutely everything from the beginning of time. I am convinced of that. I'm trying to catch up on all this here. That's right, Mark. Screw you, AI. You're an ancient soul, eh, Lori? Just want to make sure I haven't missed anything. So Cheryl, that's a big question. What am I doing for the rest of the day and week? Oh, wow. Well, today I have to go get water today. I'm low on water again. I just go up on the orchard here and tap it right from one of where it sprinkles the trees and plants and everything. And I just hook into this hose up there. It's some of the best. Uh, yes, Beth, I got a copy of the Ethiopian version. Yep. And it's got Yahweh's name all the way through instead of Lord or God or whatever. Just the titles instead. Anyway, so I got to do that. I got to get water. I'm not going to do a hell of a lot. I'm going to relax a bit. I got to stretch my back out again. It's not good sitting as this. I'll be glad when I'm back in the motorhome or sitting somewhere else, maybe in an easy chair to do this. But yeah, I got to stretch out my back and relax and play with the girls because they're going to be stressed for a while. And just enjoy having me back around the house. So that'll take at least 20 minutes, half an hour at least. And then after that, like I eat dinner at three, between 3 and 3:30. Sometimes even 2:30, because it's just better for the body to have much more time, hours in between your last meal. I only eat one meal a day, but your last meal and laying down to go to sleep, you want to get out and walk around and do something, get your blood flowing and your lymphatic system working and everything before you lie down and go to sleep. But anyway, so that's what I'll be doing. And the girls are having leftover steak and liver, and I'm having some more whitefish, like Pacific rock cod. I love that stuff, and it's so available at the store. It's so inexpensive, and it's local BC Pacific rock cod, and they bring it in. It's fresh when they get it, as fresh as it can be. Like it's, maybe 2 days old or something like that by the time they get it from the ships to the store here or something like that. So it's as fresh can be, and it's really good, and I like it, and it's really healthy for the body. And then generally have after that, I usually have a thing of sliced peaches and or sliced nectarines. And what I've really been enjoying is I eat fresh pineapple every single day now, because in the one store I go to, they've got it all the time. So I grab two of them at a time, and I come home, and that lasts me anywhere from a week to 2 weeks. And one of the great things I've been enjoying lately is taking the fresh nectarines and peaches right from the tree, basically, or putting them in my home and letting them ripen, slicing them up, and then slicing up the fresh, sweet, super sweet pineapple and mixing all that together. That's the smoke in the air. It's getting worse right now again. Something must be burning somewhere. It has to be. Otherwise, we wouldn't be getting this. And I think Summerland in that area is still smoldering away. Houses and farms and fields and stuff still smoldering, and they haven't got all the fires out in that area. Anyway, yeah, I mix them all together, and the very, very sweet pineapple. It's really sweet. It's called Honey Glow, and it's very sweet. And the sweetness of the pineapple blends really well with the sort of slight tartness of the nectarines and the almost slight tartness of the peaches, although they're in the medium area, like sweet and tart all together. Anyway, you mix them all together, and they really enhance each other and taste fantastic. So that's me for dinner: fish and fruit for dinner. And I got some plums there too. Some of those plums I was showing you, the purple prune plums. Got a few of them sitting on my counter still. So there's that, and yeah, and that's about it for the day. Don't really have much planned today. Tomorrow I have to go back into town, into Karamias, and I got to go pick up some things at. Yeah, that's right, Lori. Forests are burning. I'm smelling the trees that are burning down. And Cheryl, now you want a nectarine. Whoops! Stop it. Yeah, Mark, you've seen loads of wildfires everywhere. Absolutely. They're trying to burn these aren't natural fires anymore. And it hasn't been for over 10 years or more. I was convinced of that, like, probably at least 15 years ago, that there's more and more fires every year, and there's something very suspicious about it. They're not just natural. And there's lots of them in Greece too, you say, Mark. Lots of them burning over there, and yeah, all through Europe, everything's burning. Europe, Ireland, everywhere you go, Africa, they're all burning everywhere. Australia, everywhere, and there's something wrong with that. They're trying to burn this world down to stop doing that, to have more control over us and the little people. But the thing is there's a lot more of us little people. And we can easily gang up on these elites and get rid of them. And we should all gather together, the whole world together, all the common people, and just go and attack all the elites and remove them from everywhere, especially in politics. It's terrible, terrible. But it's part of the. Sometimes it used to be controlled burn, Lori, a long time ago, like they did in the massive sequoia wilderness in California. There, giant sequoias and places like that. Hey, Carl, you just woke up and now it's time for breathing treatment. Sorry you missed our live show and you can't stay. God bless you as well, Carl. Hey, I'm glad you woke up finally and just got on here at the last bit. I've actually 20 minutes more than I was thinking because I got asked some questions. So glad you could make it, Carl. Glad you're still hanging out with us. And I hope you're feeling better and better all the time, health wise. But yeah, your medications seem to make you sleep a lot, don't they? But thanks for popping in, Carl. Would love to have you. And if you got to go right away, you got to go do your breathing treatment and all that. I'm still trying to catch up with all these comments. They just keep coming. Yeah, some of them are accidental, Mark. Like one cigarette, someone throwing a cigarette down, that can do it. That can easily do it. Throw it on the dry ground. It'll start. It'll burst up into a flame right away, and there you go. So some of them are slightly accidental, but people shouldn't throw their cigarettes out. They should put them out properly in a proper ashtray and then dispose of them where there's not going to be a fire. People are not good at doing that. But a lot of them are set. The one in Washington, as Cheryl was telling me the other day, they caught the person who's the arsonist in the Washington fire, or one of the Washington fires anyway. And all across Canada, I've seen at least 30 or 35 people in the last 5 or so years. They've caught people all across Canada in every single province purposely starting fires. And there's one quite well known one in Alberta. A woman had started this fire and she got caught. And that and I don't believe it's people just crazy nutty people going out and just saying, "Oh, I'm just going to burn the place because I can, because I want to, and I can do it." I don't think people would just generally go out and do that on their own. Maybe one or two occasional crazy people, but the thing is I'm convinced that there's a government thing going on, conspiracy, whatever you want to call it, that they're actually paying people to go out and do this. And people are so desperate for money that you can pay them to do anything and they'll do it. You know, oh, I'll give you $20,000 to do this. And they'll go, okay. They don't think of anything, consequences or nothing. They just go and do it. And you see that more and more. I've seen a lot of people, especially in the political arena, you know, especially politicians in Canada in the last 10 years at least, uh, they'll pay these politicians to do their bidding, whatever they want to do. And, oh, yeah, let's invite China in and go by China's policies and do that in Canada. Oh, we'll give you 1 million or 2 million or something, or we'll fund your business you got. It's crazy. But the same thing's happening with the fires. They're paying people to start them. And I'm convinced of that. I've been convinced of a long time. And I see if whenever I mention it and make a comment like that anywhere on YouTube or anywhere in somebody else's thing on Instagram or whatever, I get a lot of negative comments saying, no, 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 they're all, um, they're all accidental from lightning and stuff like that. And they just don't want to believe that there's a corruption going on and they're trying to burn this world down. For their own purposes, to put up data centers, to reduce farming and all that kind of thing, the food sources from natural food sources, and they want to control everything, and especially control our lives, the common people's lives. It's like the book 1984, but on crack, on drugs. It's like way overboard, and that's what's been going on for a long time. Yeah. So anyway, that's my last thoughts on pretty much everything. I'm having a hard time keeping up with the. Yeah, and that's true, Cheryl. I feel sorry for all the wild animals and and even the farm animals and everything, all the innocent things. I mean, we're innocent too, I guess, but we can make plans and get away and stuff, but the animals, they can't. They're the ones that suffer the most. And it's sad because they're taking out them and everyone. That's right, Mark. I'd do the same thing. If someone offered me or you 100 grand to start a fire, I'd say, no way, a hole. Exactly. Exactly. I want to save the world too, Mark. Yeah, and all of us here do. We all feel the same way. We don't want it destroyed. We want it better and better, and it's supposed to be. when I was young, I thought we're moving towards a type of Eden kind of thing on Earth, where a utopia kind of thing. But apparently, according to the politicians from long before I was born, and it's going to be for a long time down the road, that's not their plan. They've been planning the opposite. They're not looking for a euphoria or a Garden of Eden or anything. Never have been. Never have been. It's been going since the beginning of time. And we're just coming to that major realization in our lifetimes. And it's becoming more and more obvious. And yeah. But anyway, we'll just have to go day by day and take things as they come and deal with them as they come, and stay positive, and what we can change and do something about, we'll do it. Like if we see someone starting a fire, I'll go pour water all over them and everything they've started burning, But yeah, we just have to, yeah, Beth, check their plate. Oh, check their plate number. Yes, exactly. There you go. Check their plate number and take a video of them as well. But anyway, we're getting past time, and the only reason I'd go is because I love having these conversations with all of you guys, and I'd stay longer and longer if I didn't have to worry about it. And Beth, that is exactly what it is. Greed is the number one motivator. Wishing you a wonderful week too, there, Catherine. Yes, you have to go and fix a bit to eat, and yeah, I got to start thinking about that. Well, for the girls, theirs is already pre-cooked and it's leftovers, steak and liver. But for mine, I have to cook my fish. I took it out this morning. It's frozen. I took it out, and I'm gonna have to cook it. So it's gonna take me a bit to get it ready, so I can eat it at 3 o'clock or shortly thereafter. But yeah. Anyway, yeah. Otherwise, I wouldn't try and take off so soon if it wasn't really for my girls, because they're the ones that are going to be the most stressed out and anxious and everything like that, waiting for me. And they're going to go get bent out of shape when I come back, and we're going to have to play for at least 20 minutes or so till they calm down, and then I can relax my back, stretch out a bit, and then jump on dinner right away. So it's going to be busy, and then after that I got to go up and get water. So I'm down to about 4 cups of water, I guess. Anyway, I would love to stay much longer and keep going with this, because I find it very, very enjoyable. And some days like this, it's just fantastic, all the conversations. And, sometimes I could go for hours and hours, but time is limited in our short little lives. So, just checking. So see you all next time. And yeah. I hope everyone has a wonderful week out there, and a very safe week. Nothing bad happening to anyone, because there's a lot of crap going on out there. And everyone stay healthy and eat right and stay healthy, and keep yourself, your body and mind and soul in shape for the coming whatever. Anyway, have a great week out there. Stay safe, you people, and we'll see you next weekend. So, I'm so glad we had this time together, just to have a laugh and sing a song. Seems we just get started, and before you know it, comes the time we have to say so long. So long, everybody. You take care, everyone out there. Stay safe, stay happy, stay wonderful, and we'll catch you next weekend on next Sunday at 12 noon Pacific Standard Time. Okay, Mark, I'll say hi to the dogs, and I'll give them a big hug and kiss for all of you. Cheryl, Beth, Lori, everybody, Catherine, everyone. And even Tess, who's not here right now. I believe she's gone. But anyway, take care. Oh, yo-ho, yo-yo, you just made it. Hello and goodbye. Thank you. You should have come earlier. Anyway, next week, come by 12 noon Pacific Standard Time or thereabouts, and you can hang out and have good chats with us. But thanks for, charging cable. But thanks for popping in anyway, Yo-Yo. It's good to see you again. Anyway, everyone take care. Have a great, healthy, safe week out there. Oh, thank you, Yo-Yo. You're the Another one has made that comment. I should be in movies. Thank you so much. I was just talking about that earlier. But thanks for popping in. Come in earlier next week and you can join all the wonderful chats we've had. Yeah. So, everyone, like I say, stay safe out there. Be happy and healthy and everything like that. And we will catch you. Braveheart 3. Thank you, Yo Yo. This could go on forever. Ever. I'll never get to my dogs and take care of them. But yeah, you all take care. God bless you all. And God keep you well and safe and well fed and happy and everything. And may all your wonderful dreams come through in the name of God. Take care and we'll catch you next week. Ciao for now. Oh, Yo-Yo, you're from France. Thanks for letting me know that. I'll remember next time. Yo-Yo's from France. Okay. This could go on and on, couldn't it? You take care, everyone. Ciao for now. See you next week.